Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and today I'm using the lovely Beautiful World suite, World of Good suite even, with the Beautiful World stamp set that you can see here, which is great for travel, journey, actually for retirement as well. But if you're into scrapbooking or holidays, this is absolutely beautiful. You know, and it's got super life's a beautiful journey. Thank you for being part of mine. Perfect for husbands, partners as well. You know, congratulations on this new beginning. Adventure awaits, retirement, somebody going off to university. You make the world a better place. Well, that could be used for so many occasions. Then lovely globe images, both hemispheres. Really useful compass image, as well as some stands for those globes. Dies that coordinate, cut out some of those images, but also a taller globe stand as well. Super feather image, always useful. Comes with some, you also use some brass foil as well, and with these intricate dies, as you can see here, I've used a double-sided adhesive on there so that when I die cut that, I can just peel it off and stick it. So great stamp set. The DSP that it comes with is lovely brass foiled, super colours, so you've got some neutrals but also blues and in the misty moonlight, and on the one side you can see beautiful foiling, so map images, a nice bumblebee grid, black and foiled hemispheres, and some mossy meadow compasses, lovely misty moonlight with the foiling, and that's the signs of the zodiac. Scripty on the other side, and then the constellations on this paper and the map on the others. You can see that's the paper I've used. Again, map images, sort of continent images, a beautiful grid, black and brass, and then finally this lovely misty moonlight image with, again, some sort of texture on the background. That also comes in the suite with the Old World embossing folder, really deep embossing on these 3D folders. I should have said these are 12 by 12 sheets, not 6 by 6. I've just cut those down to show you, and so you get 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. So this folder, I probably should have embossed a piece to show you, but it's a really lovely texture and could be used for all sorts of cards, just to add some texture to it. The ribbon I've used is, you can see at the top there, is a suede effect ribbon, and it goes perfectly with these embellishments. So there we go. So a lovely buckle we're going to be using, but also if you're into your journals and your mini albums, I have got one coming up, these are perfect to go onto your corners just to stop them getting tatty as well. Suede effect ribbon, and yeah, great project. You can see here repeat stamping I've used a bit of DSP just to show stamping doesn't always have to be on Whisper White. Just use some early espresso there on crumb cake as well. And then, so this whole box is about 6 inches by 2 inches, so 15 by 5 centimetres sort of deep. And I've used a sheet of DSP to make that one. But what I'm actually going to do today is use some cardstock to show you how you can obviously be a little bit more frugal. And it also helps show up the score lines a little bit better for you as well. Now, because of the size, I'm using my 12 by 12 cardstock. So this comes in a mixed pack of 12, I think it's 12 sheets, must be 24 sheets. Okay, it's in a mixed pack. I'll put the details on my blog and down below in the description of this to show you, but you get 2 sheets each of the colours in the neutrals range. First of all, you're going to trim this down to 23 centimetres. Like so, just butt it up to the top there. And then on the length, I'm going to go down to 28 centimetres. Make sure I cut that. That didn't look very straight. No, fine. I have. Yeah. Just sometimes with a trick of the light, didn't look quite as straight as I would have wanted it. Okay. And then just trim that to 28 centimetres. I'll put dimensions in inches on my blog for those of you that work in inches. So we are going to score the long edge at 5 centimetres. That's 13.5 centimetres. at 18.5 centimetres and at 27 centimetres. And then you're just going to score the short at 5 centimetres. Move that box out of the way, it's getting in my way. At 5 at 18. I just lost my way for a moment there. And at 21 centimetres. Or what I 21 and 22 centimetres. What I should have shown you is at the top, the way that opens. Okay, so I'll do that in a moment. Because what I'm actually doing is, rather than just holding that together, I've actually tucked the flap in, which you can probably just see there. So it actually gives a really nice closure. So even when that's off, it's not going to gape at the top. You can see it just opens up. So that's just a slightly different way of closing them if you want. So that's our box. Now what we're going to do is need some layers of DSP. So we're going to need a piece of DSP that is 8 by about 12.5 centimetres. She says, hopefully. So I'm just going to take that. There you go, by 8. And that's just going to fit on our front panel. I'm going to take a piece of early espresso, and I'm just going to make that slightly bigger to add a layer. So that's going to be 8.3 by about 12.8. She says optimistically. Okay. Okay. I've cut one of those wrong. Ooh, 7.5. Okay. This is where we double check our measurements. I've written down wrong. So it should have been 8. Okay, I've cut that one wrong, never mind. Okay, well it'll just have to be slightly, so what I'll do there, okay, so what I'm going to do there is I will make this panel for the front of the box, and when I put this one on, I'm actually going to trim it down slightly more, just by 0.5 centimetre, just to get a wider border all the way around, like so. There we go. Just to show, we all occasionally cut things wrong, so just adjust. Don't have to throw everything away. Or I have used the... Oh, in fact, that's typical. There were two pieces that were very similar in size, so actually this one is perfect. Okay. Right. So the next piece we want for the sort of front on that, which we're going to do, is just a piece of cinnamon cider I'm going to pop on the front, which is 5 by 10 centimetres. So 10 centimetres by 5. And then I cut a small piece of DSP just from some scrap that I had left over, and that was 6 by 5 centimetres. So that's just from the offcuts of whatever you're using. But again, just adds a little bit of interest to those. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can pop that to one side and get on with our box construction. So you've got your piece of card that's got this double layer on the top here, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold and burnish all of those score lines. So grab your bone folder and just reinforce all of those. Being a card, you're going to really need to give those a good burnish. Do the same on our bottom score lines. My grid paper is moving all over the place. I do apologise. That's how I try and keep in shot. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to come in with our snips and do a bit of trimming. So you will have on one end a little skinny piece which you're going to trim away. as usual. You're then going to cut straight up on these larger panels and just notch out on the smaller pieces. So you can see I'm just taking a sliver out of the side there. You don't have to be precise with that. And then what we're going to do then is just trim on the top here. So if you work out where your back seam is going to be, so this is going to be our front section here. So I prefer to have the front section being the one that tucks away. So you're just going to trim those top skinny sections like so, and the other side as well. And you're going to just trim a little bit away on that very top one as well. Okay. While it's flat, that's when we're going to do our decorating. So this is where it's really easy to... We're going to add some glue to the back of our DSP, add it onto our early espresso layer, and I'm just using some Stampin' Seal, and you'll see I'm just using my silicone mat to protect my surface and just help show you where it is. Really useful. Something I'm trying to start to do a bit more is to use my silicone mat when I'm using tape runners. Just means if you go off the side at all, everything is protected. So pop that panel on there. Okay. And then we're going to come in and do our stamping. So you see here, I've got a bit of crumb cake, and then obviously the piece that we cut off the side we can use for our stamping as well. So, repeat stamping. I'm just grabbing my image of my compass, and I'm just randomly stamping that over the sides here. You know, just add little bits, all you need to do. I'm also going to come in with my piece of DSP that we've cut and just add a bit of ink to the edges there. You could use a sponge if you prefer. I quite like just dipping it into the egg. Thinking of dippy eggs. I like dipping it in the edge of my card into the ink pad because I just think it gives a really nice deep colour, and you still get all the crisp images. Then we're going to come in and quickly stamp our sentiment, or at least I would if I could see what I've done. Okay, with my sentiment. Let's just throw it around. So I'm just inking that up, early espresso, tap, 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 and stamp down. And then you can come in with your punch. Now I'm using the Label Me Lovely one because I really like the this one. I think it's a great sentiment punch for sentiments because it's a good size. And that's going to come up there. Then all I'm going to do is add those pieces onto my box as well. Beauty of this paper is that it is true images. So if and this one happens to be Alaska, so if you're in a particular part of the world, it might be you could choose a piece of DSP that actually matches exactly where you live. So I'm just popping that in the centre. Now I'm not using many dimensionals on this. I'm actually just coming in on these two pieces, just adding them sort of flat. But I am just going to add a couple of dimensionals onto the back of my sentiment. Like so. One more than I wanted. Oh well, never mind. Extra dimension. So pop that in the middle there, and then we're ready to start to finish making our box up. So with boxes, I help use the construction to line it up. I'm going to use my Seal Plus on the edge here. So I'm just going to run that down all the way from the top. Any that goes over the edge, just fold that in, and then fold our box. And to do the closure, you want to fold from the back first. And I've just rolled that off, okay. And just close that up nice and square, and then on the top you're going to pinch the sides together, and you'll see it just comes together really nice. Now you could mark those and score them if you wanted to. I haven't, but that's fine. And then just tuck that flap just into the top there, like so. And there you've got your top, and then all I'm going to do now is take my piece of ribbon, and I'm going to measure it just enough so that there's an overlap. And to add this onto my buckle, I come in from the back of the buckle and back through, like so. I'm going to add a little bit of tape to the back there. These are little like mini strips, so they're perfect for adding that there. And I'm just going to fold that over back onto itself, like so. You can see that. Probably extra hair you've got on the... And I find it easiest to thread that through on the front. Or I don't find it very easy at all when I'm doing it on a video, of course. There we go. Thread that through, back on itself, through the buckle. And then all you need to do is just loop that over the top, and then gently tighten until it fits. So just like so. And then you can just trim off the ribbon. And there we have a pair of fabulous gift boxes, suitable for anybody who's off on a journey. This is a thank you, and you can see whether you use the DSP or you use your 12 by 12 cardstock, you get a really big, good size box, depending on which one you want to be more frugal with. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. As usual, details will be on my blog for the dimensions as well, and links are both below this video and on my blog if you'd like to purchase the products. Be delighted if you could choose me as your demonstrator. Thank you for watching. Come back and see me again soon. Bye.